Hey guys, Prowl1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about the collection range, and I want to talk to you about what I want in the Eventual Doctor Who Season 1 box set, and I do mean the 1963-64 Season 1, the very first season of the show with William Hartnell as the first Doctor. We'll get it eventually, hopefully. Let's talk about what I want in it. Number one on the list, of course, is an Unearthly Child. I want an Unearthly Child in this set. Of course, everything going on with an Unearthly Child having been up in the air in the past few months, and everybody wondering if maybe that will delay the release of this set. With the physical media rights kind of up in the air, are they covered by the agreement from forever ago? Does that cover Blu-ray? Does that cover all physical media? Is it in perpetuity? You know, is it, or is that something that the BBC lawyers are having to sort through? I don't know. I'm curious. I hope we get an answer on this, and I hope an Unearthly Child is included in the set. It should be, since it is the first story of the show. So more than anything, I want to make sure an Unearthly Child gets included with the set. Also, lots of tributes. We need lots of tributes. We need a nice William Hartnell tribute. We need a William Russell tribute with his recent passing. We need a Jacqueline Hill tribute as well, because Barbara is just amazing, absolutely amazing. A Verity Lambert tribute would also be really nice. I would love an opportunity to learn more about Verity and her life and her career. That would be fantastic. I would love an In Conversation with Carol Ann Ford. She is kind of the last person standing, I think, of this era at this point. She is 84 years old, and I feel like this, of course, is really the only spot that makes sense to have her, so I hope that we get an In Conversation with her, because I would love to hear her thoughts. A seasonal overview. You guys know I tend to love a seasonal overview, especially being the first season. I would love to hear kind of what was going on at the time when this season was airing, what people's thoughts were about the show and how it would do, and the reaction to how it was doing in the ratings. I would, Dalek Mania. I would love to hear about all that. That would be a lot of fun. Just a video on Dalek Mania, like just a documentary about Dalek Mania hitting with the release of the Daleks. I would absolutely love to see that as well. If any stories need making ofs, like Marco Polo, I figure might need one. Anything that needs making ofs, I would like to see get making ofs. I'm not sure if anything needs it or not. Probably Marco Polo. If Marco Polo is not animated by then, a really good reconstruction of it as best they can, since it is 7 parts. And of course the 30-minute cut down of it I would like to have on that as well. I would love a locations video, especially for something shot so long ago. If there is, I don't really think there was a lot of location work, actually. I think only Reign of Terror had a little location work. I think the rest of this was in studio. So yeah, locations video actually probably wouldn't make sense thinking about it. Because I think this whole season was, for the most part, studio bound, except for a little bit of Reign of Terror. I think. And the Daleks in color. I really want the new color version of the Daleks to be included. I feel like it should be included. I think that would be a nice little treat as well, and plus all the behind-the-scenes stuff that's on the, that little Blu-ray that came out. One of my subscribers and patrons, the Flyattractor, did send me a copy of the Daleks in color, which must be the US release because color is actually spelled properly on it. So I do want that. That is kind of my definitive version of the Daleks. Although I do want to rewatch the original 7-parter, taking breaks in between, because my biggest problem with the Daleks has always been that it drags at 7 parts. It's just, I don't feel like it's paced the best. But I have to keep in mind that these are meant to be watched 1 episode a week. So I think taking breaks and trying not to watch a story that long in one sitting might help me appreciate it more. That really helped me with Ambassadors of Death. I did that when I rewatched Ambassadors of Death, and I came away enjoying Ambassadors of Death a lot more. I'd always liked Ambassadors of Death, but I thought the story was just too long, and taking breaks really helped me with it. So I think if I do that with the Daleks and watch it over like a 3 or 4 day period, I think it might sit a little better, and it might become my favorite version. But as is right now, I'm preferring the color version. Not because it's in color. I actually think it looks better in black and white, although I love the updated Dalek blast effects, and I do prefer the original music. I just love the edit. The cut-down edit makes it a little more palpable for me to get through, so to speak. It's a pill that's easier to swallow for me, so to speak. So I do hope they had the color version of the Daleks on there. As for the cover, I really want Hartnell dressed up in the outfit he's wearing in his first appearance at the beginning of An Unearthly Child, when he's in the junkyard, when he's got the hat, the coat, the little scarf wrapped around with his cane. I'd like to see him completely trussed up like that when Jackie, or when Barbara and Ian first run into him. That would be a good look. And of course, he could be holding his cane. That would work really well for the first Doctor, I think. There's some really iconic shots of him from that scene that you could really use on the cover. Ooh. A little chilly. I haven't really decided on a color scheme for this. I think several color schemes would work with season 1. You could have red. There's a really good fan mock-up that's done in red that would work really well for this season. Yellow, I think, would be really good for this season. Orange could work for this season as well, and even purple. Red, orange, yellow, or purple, I think, would pop really well. The purple could pop next to this blue really well for season 2, or I could see red, yellow, orange. I mean, they use orange for the in-color title credits on his stuff like Galaxy 4, so orange could pop really good there, I feel. I'm curious to see what they do with it. For enemies, you could have the cavemen from An Unearthly Child. The Daleks, of course. You gotta have Daleks. More than one Dalek, hopefully. I loved the season, wherever it is, 10 box set, when there's actually like 3 Daleks on the cover. I love that. I really want to see multiple Daleks. So I would love to see like more than one Dalek, like 2 Daleks or something. That would be cool. The divers from the Keys of Marinus, the people that are in the little diving suits from the Keys of Marinus, work for me. Sacrifice guy from the Aztecs, the same guy who played Ash in Colony in Space. I never remember the character's name. I just call him Sacrifice Guy because I just think that's a cool name to have. Who's that? That's Sacrifice Guy. He does a good job. You could have him on the cover. You could have a Sensorite on the cover, or a couple Sensorites on the cover. And then this is actually really funny, for the Reign of Terror, I just wrote French people. I guess I should have been more specific, but the Reign of Terror, for enemies, I just wrote French people. But there are a couple of them, like the jailer, or the one guy that they don't actually realize is the guy they're looking for, who you think is an antagonist. You could have one or both of them on the cover as well for the season. A lot of human villains this season, really, if you think about it. Or humanoid-looking villains this season. And I don't know if I ever wrote anything for the flap or the back. For the flap, I think you have to go with the Daleks. And you have the TARDIS in the Skaro Forest, that fossilized, petrified Skaro Forest in color. I think that would just pop. I would love to see the TARDIS sitting in that. I think that would be... And you could even have the little petrified animal that's there, fossilized animal that's sitting there kind of right next to the TARDIS. You gotta go with that. With the back, I'm trying to think of any story that really fits the back really well. Because they're not really... I guess the Edge of Destruction... because they almost get destroyed. You could have the TARDIS hurling towards something like it's about to get destroyed. Although, didn't they already kind of do the Big Bang thing with Castrovalva? I forget. And then the booklet could just be more like some of the modern booklets where it's just stuff pulled from different episodes, just to have a kind of seasonal overview for the booklet. I really would like the interior TARDIS to be in black and white. Like when you get to the TARDIS inside, have it in black and white. I know the season 2 one's in color, but I think just for the season 1 one, you do the interior TARDIS in black and white, just as a nod to the black and white era of the show. And then I hope he continues to do the disc in black and white like he did with the season 2, because I did really like that one. I thought that was a really nice touch. I'm not saying every 60s season needs that, but I think season 1 definitely needs that. So that's my thoughts on season 1 of Doctor Who for the moment, and what I want in it. And I'm trying to remember, have I already done this video? That's where I'm at. I keep telling you, my memory is terrible. I'm trying to remember if I've done this video before. I honestly don't remember. So I want to know what you think and what you want for season 1, the original season of Doctor Who. Comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. That helps me out and I appreciate it. I also have a link to my Patreon down there. That does help me keep the bills paid if you want to help me out with that. I want to give a shout out to a couple of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney and Stephen Crane. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. I also had a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, and a link to my Amazon wish list and a link to my Amazon UK wish list are down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.